And life has been busy, as it always is. And I actually really have started to hate using that word, busy, because everyone's busy, whether it's making dinner and having to do the dishes and laundry and cleaning and then going to work and coming home and doing it again and playing with your kids and taking the car in for service. We're all busy. I hate that term, but that's not what this episode's about. Maybe it will be a future episode. I told you some of these might end up being 25 minutes long, and that's how they're going to end up being 25 minutes long, as if I go on rants like that. So I apologize. But I was recently working on a speech, and I got to working out kind of the stories and the anecdotes that I want to use in the stories. And I got to thinking about this experience that I had in high school. And maybe we'll cover that whole gamut of experiences one day. But this is one in particular about a way that I used to approach tennis. Now, I was a tennis player. It's the only sport I was remotely good at back then. And there was an experience, I believe I was a freshman or sophomore. It was a Saturday tournament, and I took it I took it serious. I still take the game seriously because I just love to compete. I genuinely love playing. Well, I didn't handle that well. Me and my doubles partner, we just didn't get along all that well, and I let it show on the court. I let my emotions get the best of me. We got multiple warnings for our language on the court. Sorry, church family. And we lost. Like, it just wasn't good. 2 years later, my senior year, I was paired up in doubles with someone who was not a tennis player. They just were an athlete through and through. And they also had a different approach. They approached sport with passion, with caring for doing well, but also understanding you have to have fun along the way. And the quote that starts out my book, Running From Yourself, Transforming Fear into Courage, really stood out to me, and I want to read it to you. When someone tried to tear you down, show them you get right back up, because like steel you may bend, but you won't break. That's from Rashida Rowe. And that stands out to me as I was thinking through the lessons I wanted to impart in this audience, but also how important it is in your day-to-day life to get back up. And it's really hard sometimes to get back up, right? You have your ups and your downs, and some days it's like 17 downs in a row, and how are you supposed to get back up after all that? You get back up. Sometimes it doesn't mean going back to the same meeting and having the same fights. It's getting back up and doing a little bit of the work that you know you need to do to have impact, to feel like you got something done for the day. That's sometimes the only victory you can have, and the only one that matters, because you got back up. You dusted yourself off. You went back to the drawing board. You went back to the keyboard and tried to work through that writer's block, and maybe it's one sentence, but you got back up. That's the lesson for today. Get back up and keep trying. Kind of funny how we tied that back to the last video, podcast, try. So thank you for listening. If you're enjoying these kind of quick anecdotes, please do share this with your friends. And as always, I'm going to give you one last piece of advice. Live it well.